These are the photographs of two young ladies who are the same age, 28 years old, and are equally from the beautiful rural parish of Port Antonio Portland. On the left is Shadae Pink. She was a resident of Camberlane. On the right is Jody-Ann Jackson, who was a resident of Anchovy Land Settlement in the parish. These ladies were not friends. They were each other's worst enemies. On the nation's holiday last year, Labor Day, May 23rd, one will take their dreadful hatred to an extreme level where not only will it result in one fatality, but 3 lives would be lost, including the innocent who had nothing to do with this wrathful malice between these two young ladies. Quickly, let me put out a disclaimer. Although some facts of this case are already established, this matter is still before the courts, so I will be emphasizing the word allegedly throughout the video to not prejudice the outcome of this case. On Camberlane, Port Antonio, there's this entertainment shop and bar at the entrance of the district, typical of most rural parishes in Jamaica, where residents or passerby would hang out to buy liquor, jerk chicken, soup, and other edible items, listen to music, and play a game of domino or ludi. As to be expected, that corner was the lively spot for booming business on Labor Day, Tuesday, May 23rd of last year. There was music booming from the speaker box, 2 elderly men dancing with their plastic cup of liquor, supposedly special, which consists of the energy drink Boom and Jerry and Neville White Rum. A young couple was drinking soup from paper cups across the street from the shop. On the front page of this lively hotspot, Shadae Pink, who was 9 months pregnant and lived nearby, was sitting playing dominoes with the guys, while a few people stood around watching the domino players. At approximately a few minutes after 11 p.m., a silver Toyota Fielder car drove up to where the domino players were. A man exited the rear of the car, pulled a gun from his waist, and shot Shadae in the head. The patrons, who were obviously frightened, panically scampered away for their lives. While they were running, the lone gunman fired a shot, hitting Keino James. Then he shot Shadae Pink 3 more times in her head after he made his escape by getting in the awaiting car. Shadae Pink and Keino James were rushed to the nearby Port Antonio Hospital, where both were pronounced dead. The parish of Portland is at the top of the list of parishes that are deemed peaceful and have an almost 0 murder rate. So a murder of this magnitude would send a shockwave throughout the parish, especially a close-knit community as Campbell Avenue. This is Make We Talk channel. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to leave your opinions in the comment section. It was extremely sad and heart-wrenching for Shadae Pink's family. They said she was supposed to go into the hospital on the weekend, which would have been the 27th of May, was her due date for a scheduled C-section to deliver her baby, which would be her second child. She also had a little daughter. To the Pink's family, Shadae's death was an added trauma to the already mourning family, as her father was coming from the States to prepare to bury her sister, who lost her life weeks prior in a car accident in the parish of Westmoreland. Police investigators had an early lead into the case with the assistance of a CCTV camera, where they viewed the footage and saw the actual murder taking place. In sorting out the available evidence, coupled with eyewitness and getting information from Shadae's family about her background, an ultimate motive was established. Just like a thrilling Lifetime movie, the police investigators unraveled the plot of love, obsession, and a wicked plot to kill. 5 weeks after the execution-style murder of Shadae Pink, police arrested and charged a pregnant woman named Jody-Ann Jackson from the district of Anchoviland district in the parish. She was a cosmetologist by profession and the owner of a sports bar. The big perturbing question is why a pregnant woman would want another pregnant woman and her unborn baby dead. The alleged shocking theory given by police and people on the ground is that both ladies were in a steady relationship with the same man, who somewhat deliberately or coincidentally got both young ladies pregnant at almost the same time. And what seemed to make this case rather peculiar is that both ladies knew of each other but weren't willing to let go of this two-timer bastard of a man. He was like their ride or die and a never-ending competition to see who he loved more. It is alleged that Dog, not his real name, and Dog is spelled D-A-G-G, was involved in a romantic relationship with Jody-Ann years before he got involved with Shadae. And Shadae would have known about Jody-Ann but chose to go head over heels for the relationship anyway. It is rumored that Dog would not leave Jody-Ann completely for Shadae, as Shadae was lazy and unemployed and Jody-Ann was a go-getter and a hustler. She had her own business and was well known for her skills as a nail technician. It was also rumored that Jody-Ann was scamming two elderly returning residents of the parish, which supplemented her income, and with her revenue, she shared it with the love of her life, Dog. The alleged outcome of this love triangle saga started when a man, not his real name, but I'll refer to him as Bear, who was from the community of Campbell Lane, went to have a drink at Jody-Ann's bar in Anchovy district. He was smitten by Jody-Ann's beauty and the manner of her bartending charisma. Bear tells Jody-Ann that he has feelings for her, but Jody-Ann, who was used to men making passes at her, quickly puts an end to his romantic interest in her by telling him she is already taken by the love of her life, and proceeds to show him a picture of her and her boyfriend Dog together. Bear took a closer look at the picture with his eyes lined with curiosity, then asked Jody-Ann what her boyfriend name was, and she replied, "His name is Dog. Do you know him?" His reply and revelation would send Jody-Ann into a state of depression and on a never-return quest for vengeance. It so happens that Bear told Jody-Ann that he knew Dog, but he goes by a different name, Dwayne, and that he was a young lady named Shadae's boyfriend from Campbell Lane, where he lives. That anguish news for Jody-Ann makes her want to find out more about Shadae, so she cunningly befriends Bear to get all the info on Shadae. And of course, Bear takes the bait, intending to win Jody-Ann's heart. As expected, Jody-Ann confronted Dog, who at first denied his affairs with Shadae, but then admitted to it by putting a twist, blaming Shadae, stating that she was the one who was obsessed with him and keep pursuing him, and he was with her out of pity. Being so naive, Jody-Ann bought into his deceptive lies and started seeing Shadae as a man-stealer and her bitter rival. On the other side of town, Dog was telling Shadae he was only with Jody-Ann because she was kind to him, but differently he couldn't stand her because she was nagging and feisty. Being the tackle-tailor in the middle, Bear was constantly watching Shadae's every move, especially when he spies Dog visiting Shadae. He would constantly report back to Jody-Ann with the intent for her to finally see Dog for who he was and break it off with him so he could inject himself into Jody-Ann's life. But that never happened. Instead, Jody-Ann's affection grew for her boyfriend and her hatred intensified for Shadae more and more. In December of 2022, Bear was over eager to confirm that Shadae was pregnant for a dog, a news that Jody-Ann was at first in denial about, which comes at a time when she was also in the first stages of being pregnant for a dog. When Jody-Ann confronted Dog about Shadae's pregnancy, he denied it, saying he used protection. So it's a strong possibility the child is not his. But Bear counteracted any doubt Jody-Ann had about her boyfriend not being Shadae's baby father. He confirmed to Jody-Ann that Dog was the one financing Shadae and took pictures of Dog taking shopping bags from his car into Shade's house. Jody-Ann and Dog were constantly arguing over Shade's pregnancy. Sometimes during their arguments, Dog would admit he was Shade's unborn baby's father, and next time he would deny he was not the father. When their arguing intensified, he would threaten Jody-Ann that he was leaving her for Shadae. Let me backtrack to after the execution-style murder of Shadae Pink last year Labor Day. The police, in carrying out what they described as a thorough investigation, theorized the allegation that Jody-Ann so hated Shadae for having an affair and getting pregnant for her boyfriend that she went through the devious decision to hire a contract killer to get rid of Shadae permanently. The investigator said Jody-Ann rented the Toyota Fielder and drove the triggerman to Campbell Lane, where she pointed out Shadae among the players of domino. The police also said that 23-year-old Keino James King was not the intended target, but merely an innocent bystander at the wrong place at the wrong time. Police also revealed to the media that they recovered the getaway car in St. Mary and is working with intelligence to apprehend the triggerman. If the police alleged theory is true about Jody-Ann, the repercussions of her doings seemed to be taking effect on her, in that while she was in jail she gave birth. Her baby was taken and her other two children. She didn't know who had them. After spending 2 months in jail, she got a new lawyer who was successful in securing bail for her against strong opposition from the prosecutor. Her new lawyer put forward evidence that police coerced her to give incriminating statements of her involvement in the murder, threatening her that all her children would go into state care and she didn't know where her newborn baby was. The presiding judge granted her a $4 million bail under the condition that she leave the parish, surrender her travel documents, and report to the Claremont police station in St. Anne 5 days a week. The police ruled out Dog and stated he had no knowledge or involvement in the murder of Shadae Pink and Keino James King. Please, viewers, share your thoughts with me on this love triangle saga case.